Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've got a brand new set that we'll be putting on today. This is the one that we're going to be doing. It's got some nude and purple using a new gel kit by Gershion. I'm going to start by pushing back my cuticles, and while I'm doing that, I do want to remind you all to please hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you never miss out on any of my videos. Now I want you guys to remember back about 6 or 7 weeks ago in my acrylic opal nails video, I had severely damaged nails here and also on my thumb here. While I am using this cuticle bit to clean up my cuticles, just pay attention to those areas because I shortened my nails down and wore them short, which I hated, for about 7 weeks, and basically all of my nails are totally fine now. I have just the tiniest bit still that hasn't grown fully out on my pinky, but other than that, look at them. They're so healthy, and I'm so happy because now I get to add a little bit more length. Not gonna go as long as I normally do on this hand. For some reason, my left hand, I just kind of am a little bit more rough with it, and I think it's because I open my sliding glass door with that hand, and constantly my nails are getting stuck in that, if like on the handle, if I have them too long. Very quick disclaimer, I am a nail biter and I keep my nails covered with products because I know if there's no product, I'm going to bite off the free edges. But because I have product on my nails and I can't do that, I bite the skin. So that little blood or scab that you're seeing there on my pinky is from me biting it, and I know it's not good and I'm trying to break the habit, and so I stop myself when I catch it happening. Otherwise you would see blood on every single one of these fingers. So I'm just going to use this diamond nail bit to clean up my cuticles. And I want you guys to keep in mind that this is very sped up. So I'm not using this aggressively. I am using it at about 6,000 rotations per minute. I also want you to notice that I am not pushing the tip of the bit up underneath my skin or anything like that. I am more using the side of the bit than the tip. This will help push back my cuticles a little bit further, but mostly it's cleaning up the cuticle and dead skin that's on my nail plate. I do have pretty excessive cuticle growth. Some of my clients have like basically no cuticle growth, and I don't have to do this hardly at all. Sometimes on some of my clients, I actually don't have to do this step and I just go right into the next step because it'll clean up the cuticle anyways. But for people like me where you've got excessive cuticle growth, you do want to use a slower speed and just be very careful to remove all of that, otherwise you'll get lifting. So now I'm going to use this bit by Young Nails, and this is the one I was saying, if on some of my clients I just go right in with this because you can tuck back up into the cuticle area and clean everything up, and then also remove the shine on the rest of the nail. I do have a little bit leftover product on these nail beds from my previous set because I do leave a thin layer of product so that I'm not over filing my nails. It's super important that you are not filing your nails every single time you put on a new set. So just tucking that right up into the cuticle area, following through along any natural nail growth, and removing the shine. This bit is equivalent to a medium grit sanding band, and I absolutely love it. I'm just going to use my prep and dehydrator and then also the primer. This is a new kit by Savaland and I am testing it out. I will let you guys know what I think. Most dehydrators are basically the same, but normally I do use my Young Nails Protein Bond. It is my favorite, but I'll let you guys know what I think about this one. I always do my priming and dehydration twice. So I dehydrate twice, then I prime twice. When you're using your primer, you want to make sure that you wipe the brush off almost completely, otherwise you're going to flood your nail beds and it's going to have an opposite effect. It's not going to give you the adhesion that you need. So just make sure you're using a very small amount and you'll be okay. After I've applied that twice on all of my nails, I will go in and start with my base. I am using the gel-ish Vita Gel. And if you notice, I kind of swirl it in the bottle before applying it. That helps me to get off most of the product better than just scraping each side. So I just find that swirling method really works well for me. So I am going to put this on all of my nails, and then I will go in with a layer of base coat from the kit that I will be using today. But I put these down first because it's been working well for me. I mean, I've never had someone have their onycholysis go away in less than 7 weeks. So I don't know if this has something to do with it, but I'm going to keep using it. So I got this new kit by Gershion, and I do want to thank them for sending it to me. If you guys saw my filing and shaping gel video, I used the first set that they had that was like this one, and it was my very favorite gel I've ever purchased on Amazon. It's so easy to work with, and so I let them know that when they made their last kit, and I said, if you guys can make another kit, that would be awesome, because I want this in every color of the rainbow. So they obliged. They made another kit. I love that. I love that they accepted the feedback and saw that I liked it, other people liked it, and they made another one. So this one is more nudes, and then it's got a red and I think a pink is the next one after this. But this red is beautiful. I definitely want to use that in a set as well. So let me know if you guys want to see that, and I will figure out a design to use that red because it is just gorgeous. But the second shade that I used on this card here is the one I'm going to be using in the set today. And so after, like I said, after I use that gelish Vita Gel, now I'm using my base coat that came in this kit, just to make sure that everything adheres really well. And again, you can see me swirling the brush in circles and then wiping off the one side. Like I said, that just leaves me with the perfect amount of product that I can base coat all of my nails without having to dip back in and without having to constantly scrape it off because I'm applying too much. So once I get those all base coated, I will cure for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to apply my nail form to my first nail. I finally have free edges so I can use nail forms. It is a freaking miracle, guys. Like, oh, I love it. I love how the nails on this side are progressing. My other side I have not removed fully down in months. I've just done fills and things like that, but these ones have a free edge, so very exciting for me. So I'm going to use a clear gel, and I'm going to create the shape of my nail, starting by making a free edge and a little platform that I will build on later. The reason I'm using this instead of any of the colors that came in the Gershion kit is because I want the tip of this to be glass-like so that my butterflies will be on a clear base later on. So I'm just making sure that I'm kind of using my brush like a pen and sketching the shape to exactly where I want it to be, making sure that I'm connecting it up high enough on both of the side walls and then along the free edge so that when I remove the nail form, it's not going to break off. Now this layer is super thin, so you do have to be very careful with it. You don't want to create it too thick and cause excess bulk. That is not going to do you any kind of good. So just keep it really thin and work very gently. So I cured that for about 20 seconds, and now I'm just going to put on a clear pinching clip and cure it for the remaining 40 seconds, which is a full 60-second cure in all. And I'm going to remove my inhibition layer because I'm going to shape this a little bit before I go into my next step. The reason I am shaping this is because I'm going to be placing butterfly glitters on the tip of this. And if you don't shape first, you can end up filing off some of those glitter pieces. So that is the best way to retain your designs and not file through your work. I know I used to have problems understanding why when I was applying glitter or kind of sandwiching things in like encapsulating, and I would shape in the end, and I would file through the color or the glitter, whatever it was that was encapsulated. And I didn't understand why, but I finally figured it out after watching enough videos. It is because I wasn't shaping the nail first. So if you shape the nail first, and I do shape it a little bit skinnier than the finished shape, because when you encapsulate, it is going to leave some bulk. So go a little bit thinner than what the end result will be, and you'll be happy with the nails after you're done encapsulating, and you won't lose your design.
Got me thinking about you, and I'm thinking about all the things that we.
So now that my shaping is done, I am using a lint-free nail wipe just with some alcohol on it to remove any of that dust, because we're going to go in and apply more product and we need all of that dust to be removed. So this is the shade I'll be using from the Gershion kit, and I forgot my slip layer for this nail, so it was a little bit harder for me to work with. But don't judge me or the product on this nail. It was my fault for forgetting this slip layer. Basically with this product, it is super easy to use because it has a skinny nozzle that you can direct the product exactly where you need it to be, and then use the brush that comes with the kit, which is the same brush that I used for that clear gel, and kind of touch up any areas that you need to. You'll see what I mean. But basically I'm going to cover my entire nail bed and just a little bit past my nail bed with this shade. Then I will go in with my brush and kind of try to smooth out the gel a little bit, because it is a little bit lumpy, which again is because that slip layer wasn't there. And then I will also feather out the front free edge just right in front of my nail bed, because I do want it to kind of fade into the clear color where I will apply the glitter afterward. So this gel is so amazing because it stays where you put it, and then when you are directing it with your brush, it moves so easily, but it doesn't like just run everywhere. It's the craziest formula I have ever seen. I don't know how they did it, but I absolutely love it. And it's the same way I felt about the original kit, because they have the same formula. It's nice and thick, it stays where you put it, you tap it with the brush, it moves. It's just so easy to build nails with it. So definitely my favorite gel formula, and I hope that they continue to make more kits, because I will buy every single one of them. So I did get a little bit of running around my cuticle and sidewalls. That was my fault for trying to smooth everything out. I was, like I said, on this nail, it was a little bit difficult because of not having that slip layer. Obviously, it's very important to have so that the gel knows where it needs to go. But because of that, I worked a little bit longer with this product. So once it warms up, it does move a little bit. So you just want to make sure you clean it off any skin so that you don't have any lifting later on. So I'm just going to take some of these little glitters. I applied a very super thin layer of that clear gel, and then I'm just going to press in my little butterfly glitters right into that. I'm just using a silicone tool to pick them up because I didn't want to get my little bling picker just for little glitter pieces, because this tip is a lot more precise. So I placed the majority of the butterflies right along where my free edge would be, so that it kind of covers that free edge area, and then just place it over the clear tip. I will go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds to hold those butterflies in place, and then I will encapsulate with that same clear gel.
Things I thought I want, but staring at this paper cup, I saw a little wider, and odder things have happened to me up and down this avenue. We can sit back and let fate decide, but this insatiable hunger tonight. So treat me like I like, if only for a night. I'm not demanding, I just require a little fragile handling tonight. So treat me like I'd like, if only for a night. I'm not demanding, I just require a little fragile handling. I just require a little fragile handling. I just require a little fragile handling. I just require.
So you guys seem to like in my last video where I showed you every one of my nails, and because every one of my nails on this hand are different, I will show you all of them. So this one I'm starting out very similarly to the thumb, creating that clear base for me to work on. I'll go ahead and cure that for 20 seconds, pinch it, finish curing for 40 seconds, and then we'll move on from there.
Not demanding, I just require a little fragile handling. 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 I just.
When you put your pinching clips on, make sure you flip your hand around and have it straight on. Otherwise, it will kind of curve your C-curve. It won't be a proper C-curve. It'll be kind of wonky. So just make sure you turn your hand around and you'll be good. So this nail is going to have kind of like a diagonal cut where half of it's going to be glitter and half of it, well, I guess it's really not half, it's like 1/4 of it is going to be glitter, and then the rest will be this nudie taupey shade. I don't really know how to describe the shade, but it is gorgeous. So as you notice, I squeezed a little bit out on the nail, and then I used my brush to brush it over the nail in the areas that I'm going to apply this color. That was my slip layer. Then I will squeeze the product exactly where I need it to go. I'll cure that. And now I'm going to start my second layer by creating my slip layer just with the leftover product on my brush. And then I will start squeezing the product out and creating a little bit more of that structure and thickness that I need so that the apex is where I need it to be, and I will have enough strength in the nail. I will also make sure that the diagonal cut of this is going to have a high enough ledge so that I can file against it later and create a very precise shape.
I just want somebody to talk to, someone that's on my mind. I want something that's all cool, and it don't waste my time. Yeah, I just want somebody, just want somebody. I just want somebody to talk to, somebody to talk to. I wanna have somebody, wanna have somebody that's cool.
So again, it's going to be a full 60-second cure. Then I remove the inhibition layer, and I'm going to use my file just to clean up that diagonal cut and make sure that it is nicely shaped and very precise before moving into the next step.
I want something that's all cool, and it don't waste my time. Yeah, I just want somebody, just want somebody. I just want somebody to talk to, somebody to talk to. Yeah, I just want somebody, just want somebody. Yeah, I just want somebody to talk to. I wanna have somebody,
So now that I've got that cleaned up, I am just using a wipe with alcohol to remove the dust, and then I'm going in with the clear super thin layer just like before, just like on the thumb. It's basically just a layer to help apply my glitter. The difference with this one is that when I pressed in the butterfly glitters, I had not cured that thin layer of gel. But because I'm going to be using a fine glitter, this time I did go ahead and cure the gel. And I'm going to go in with this shade, which is Bejesus. It is by Young Nails. Such a beautiful purple. And so when I cured the gel, I only cured it for 30 seconds rather than 60 seconds. And basically we're doing a glitter press. So you take your brush, tap it in, and then finish with the 30-second cure so that you get that entire 60-second cure time. Then I'm just going to encapsulate it with that same clear gel. This nail is pretty basic. It's going to be a full nude nail, and there's not a lot of explanation needed here. The only thing I will say is that I do create my free edge first. That way I've got my shape exactly where I need it to be before applying like the bulk of my product. I don't want to just start applying it thick without having that free edge shaped, because shaping the free edge does take a little bit longer, and I don't want the product from the nail bed to run into my sidewalls and cuticle while I'm shaping the free edge. So instead I start by creating a very thin layer. It's basically like applying a tip, except for you're using product to build the tip. Once I've applied that thin layer, I will give it a 60-second cure, and then I will go in with a thicker application over the entire nail and free edge to get the bulk of my product and the strength and structure that I need. So this next nail is going to be a glitter fade that fades out to a clear tip. So I'm only going to use the clear gel on this one. I'm going to start it the same way as the other. First, starting my free edge.
Never been the type for giving up. Complicated situations only make it worse, cause just getting started is not enough. I'll be around when you need.
So now that I have pinched and fully cured that free edge, I am going to apply a very thin layer of gel. It's almost as thin as a slip layer would be. And then I'm going to take my little butterfly glitters and press it into the wet gel. Then once I've gotten those placed, I will cure that for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to do a glitter press, ombre out to a clear tip. When I am doing a glitter fade, I start by just completely doing a glitter press, full opacity, right back at the cuticle area. Then I start tapping the brush above the nail to have it fade out really beautifully. Anytime I do a glitter press, I always do an additional 30-second cure just to make sure it's well adhered. Then I brushed off any excess glitter, and then I'm just going to encapsulate it with that clear gel, which again will start with a slip layer. Then I'll grab a bigger bead of the product, pillow it around the cuticle, and then down over the entire nail. Okay, so last one, again, starting with that free edge. This one is going to be a mix of the diagonal cut tip and the fade. So I will work on the diagonal, but when I apply the product, I will just allow it to be brushed out and kind of ombre into the clear a little bit.
I broke a few hearts or two, a couple too many times. I let good things go up in flames, they blow up like dynamite. If I'm being honest, no, I got a problem. No one made me wanna change. Then there was you, it feels so new. I just wanna get this right. No, I'm not a role model. Nothing ever seems to last. Baby, now that I got it, I'll be better with you.
So after I've got that ombre'd out and feathered down, then I give it a full cure, and then I'm just using that same clear gel and applying it over that clear tip, but I'm also allowing it to come up onto that nude a little bit just to make sure that I have a very good adhesion and coverage and that we're not going to have any issues in the filing. So once I've got that how I like it, I go ahead and cure it. This is how they look before shaping. And again, this is how they look afterwards. Always better once they've been filed in shape. So we're almost done, but I am just cleansing off the nails before I do my top coat. I am going to apply some striping tape onto the little diagonal cut nails. And on this pointer finger, I was having a hard time with the striping tape. So I applied some foil glue, and that really helped for that striping tape to adhere down. And I'm just applying it along the same angle as the glitter free edge. Then I'm going to go in with a second piece and just mimic that same shape, keeping it parallel to the first line, making sure we press it down really well. Then we'll cut off the excess, and when I use striping tape, I always top coat twice. That does help keep it sealed down so that it's not going to lift off while you're wearing your set. So I'm going to apply striping tape onto my pinky as well once I get my first layer of top coat on this finger. And on my pinky, I didn't have a hard time with the striping tape, so I didn't apply the foil glue. Sometimes it's a little finicky with foil glue because you can't just pick it up and move it. It's it just sticks down really easily when you've got that foil glue on there. So if possible, I just like to apply it onto the nail directly. But if you ever do have problems with it sticking, just apply that foil glue and it'll stay down for you. So the same double stripe parallel design, keeping them nice and close together. And the top coat I am using today is from that same Gershion kit. Because I am applying that bigger bead down the center, I do go ahead and flash cure those just for 10 seconds before moving on to the next nail. Otherwise, it'll be everywhere by the time you go to apply the next finger. So once the top coat is done and I've given everything a full 60-second cure, we will go ahead and put on cuticle oil and we will be done. Of course, for the clear tipped nails, I am going to apply just a very thin layer of top coat to the underside. That just helps ensure that you get the clarity of glass. That is basically it. I know you guys didn't see the removal from my old set. That will be in my next video. If I would have left the removal in this video, it would have been an hour long and y'all didn't want to see that. So we cut it down for you. But here are the finished nails. Make sure you guys let me know what you think down below. Of course, if you have any questions, suggestions, or requests for different sets, let me know down below. I love to hear from you guys. Be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys all next time. Bye!